Alright guys, this week's going to be a smaller haul. I actually bought these trade paperbacks from a show a couple months ago, and I finally found them. That's when you know you got too much, when you discover stuff that you bought months ago. Because I was like thinking about, I wanted to read something that I bought from that, and I knew I had it, and then of course all I think I have like 4 or 5 books that I have all together. Plus I have one back issue I picked up at a shop this past week, and my last week's books this week. But I'm trying to save up for a show that's coming up soon. It'll probably be my last show of the year. I may go to Steel City Con because the family wants to meet John Moxley. For those AEW fans out there, uh, we're all huge fans of his in this house. uh, but usually when I bring the whole family, my digging through back issue bins is limited because nobody wants to stand around watching me dig through bins. As exciting as that might be for me, but the rest of the family not so much. But before we get to all that, we're going to get to our two from the tomb. So as I was looking through new books coming out, I guess they're coming out in December, maybe November. But it looks like DC's doing another gimmick cover. I think they're all embossed covers. I mean, they look pretty cool. The Batman one's like all silver and with him fighting Bane on it, which is cool. I might pick that one up, but I'm not probably going to buy anything else. But it just got me thinking about all the other last like 10 years of the different gimmick covers. And I think DC's pretty much hit a home run on each one of them, with the exception of Future's End. But show a couple that are my favorites from that past 10 years era. First up is Batman Red Death with the foil cover. I just love that cover. I remember seeing this on the shelf and I was like, oh my, it's not even doing it justice, I don't think, on this camera here. See if I get the light a little bit. But yeah, seeing this in person is just such a awesome looking issue. I ended up buying them all. I wish I would have bought another copy of this. That's the only thing I regret, not picking up another issue of that, because I just love, like I said, I love this cover, love the character design. I probably like this character more than I like the Batman Who Laughs, which is another cool character. I mean, but just the Red Death, I just love that the way it looks there, the crimson. And the other one I thought they did a pretty good job was on Doomsday Clock with Rorschach. You can see as you go like this, flipping through it, you can see the Batman symbol, Wonder Woman, and Superman on top there. Then you go back like that and just normal Rorschach. But I thought, because Marvel did something similar to that with, they did like, what was it, like old issues like Amazing Spider-Man issue 129. They went to like Deadpool issue 47, whatever the hell it was at the time. But those were freaking horrible. You see them if you watch those a lot of the unboxings and like grab bags. You always see like those littered with them in the mystery boxes, you know, because they suck. But DC killed it with their Villains Month, and they also did it with the Doomsday Clock. Future's End was okay looking, but not as good as the Doomsday Clock and Villains. So that's this week's two from the tomb. Some gimmick covers that exceeded expectation. So like I said, I went to the comic shop. I picked up one issue. I had money in my pocket, I guess, burning a hole through it, and I ended up picking up a pretty gnarly cover here. Spawn issue 93. So with this issue, I think I'm down to 18 more issues to get to my goal of issues 1 through 100. There's nothing really that's really outrageous. I think issue like 77 might be a little expensive, but the rest of them should be hopefully under $15. I'm trying to get it as cheap as possible. You know, if you follow this channel, you know, I've been collecting on a budget for decades. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I might as well take a flip through it here since I don't got any more back issues to show. But I paid $10 for this. Yeah, the reason why I'm collecting only to 100. Of course, I might get some of the other issues, but Greg Capullo's run ends with issue 100, I believe, of him doing the pencil interiors. I know he comes back and does an issue here or issue there through the next couple of years, but it was I think it was basically at 100 was when he stopped. Uh, Again, not 100% sure now. He might have went to 103 or something like that. No, he didn't go to 103 because I got 103. So at least at 102. So I was at a show a couple months ago. Well, yeah, it's been we'll say a couple months. And I've decided one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to probably start picking up a trade paperback at each show I go to, just because it's like you know, going to the grocery store hungry or something like that. If I pick up one trade paperback, it gives me something to read, so I don't buy as much, or I become a little bit more picky instead of buying a bunch of stuff that I may not like, or I may just want to try out. But if I have a trade paperback, you know, or graphic novel or whatever you want to call it, I can quench that thirst, tame that hunger. I ended up picking these all up for, I think they were less than $5 each. Yeah, well, except for the last one. The last one I paid a little bit more for, but the first one I picked up was Hack and Slash. This is the Omnibus, #1. I don't know too much about this character, so I figured a great place to start with is the first Omnibus. I know a little bit from watching Mr. Rigor Mortis 86's video, link down below. His videos, he has a couple of the couple issues of this series, I believe, but I'm not sure exactly. I don't know too much about this character, so like I said, for $5, I'm gonna try it out. But this seems like, I'm not sure if this is one ongoing story or if this is like taken from here or there a little bit. So it'll be interesting to read this. And this was actually what I was looking for, because I saw a video a couple of weeks ago on his channel talking about Hack Slash. And I was like, oh, I want to read that. And I was like, I got it here somewhere. And of course, you know, you dig through a bunch of all these boxes and stuff like that. And you gotta find it, because it should have been right on my bookshelf, but whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. Like I said, I got it for $5, so. Another thing I was looking for was some volume 1s of some Golden Age books that I'll never own. So why not start with Superman Chronicles, volume #1. It starts with Action Comics #1 and ends with Superman #1. Of course, you got the iconic. They just did a facsimile of Action #1, so I was like, I think I already got like. Do I have an Action one? I'm not sure. I have to check in that. I might buy it because I don't have one. I don't think. But I know I have. I might have the giant size books, first editions or whatever they're called for DC. Yeah, I figured this is a great way to just read these stories that like I said, I'll never really own, and I've never really read them. So that was a good thing. Like, again, $5. To me, this was the steal of the show for me. Picking this up for under $5. The archive editions, #1. First you start with Detective 27. Again, I've read Detective 27 before, and Detective 38, but after that, it's a lot of stuff I never read before, so you can't be a Batman fan without reading like some of the classic stuff here. Yeah, but I'm super happy to have this in my collection. I'd like to get like the first, I'm not sure how many of these archives they came out with, but I do own like Volume 1 now, and I also own Volume 5. But some classic Batman. Speaking of classic, I can't remember whose channel I saw this on. It might have been Big Elbows, I'm not sure. But I bought this, like I said, a couple weeks ago, and I read it last night, and oh my god. So Jack Kirby, I paid more for this. I can't remember how much I paid. I think I paid like $20 for it. Yeah, I didn't pay cover price, but I paid 20. But Jack Kirby, the epic life of the King of Comics. This is for any fan of comics in general. You don't even have to be a fan of Kirby. Tim Scioli knocked this one out of the park. He did such a great job with this. I'm surprised, the Kirby Foundation or whatever the family just didn't authorize this, because this is so good. You can see starts from the beginning of his childhood all the way up to the last days of he was with us here. But yeah, this is just, I was on the edge of my seat, and I plowed through this thing like you wouldn't believe. I was just I just couldn't put it down. It was one of those books that I'm still looking at Tom Scioli's art on this thing. He just did such a good job. Yeah, a lot of text and stuff like that, but man, did he! I highly recommend this if you've never read it before. I think they had a free comic book day, so you might be able to find some, at least the preview part and some back issue bins or something like that, just to get a taste of it. But if you get a chance, definitely read this. Even go to the library. I'm sure they got them. You can request it at the library if you don't want to pay $30 for it, or get a semi-decent deal on it, like for 20, like I did. But highly recommended. All right, let's do some last week's books this week and get out of here. Let's see what we got here. So start off with some Sweetie, the Candy Vigilante. I picked this up because I just thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, dead skin mask. I like the art inside of here also. Sort of got that like a sludge factor to it. That yeah, 80s hair metal vibe going on here. But yeah, I enjoyed this story. Will I pick up the next issue? I don't know. It's not gonna be something I put on my pull list though. But I enjoyed it for the first issue that it is. Hulk. I only have one more issue on my pull list. I told him to take it off after issue 10. To be honest with you, I've just not been enjoying this series at all. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Following up the Immortal Hulk, they should have went in a different direction or whatever. But this is this went too far in the other direction. They're just not enjoyable to read to me. Picked up a Tomb of Dracula facsimile. I haven't read this one yet, but I've never read this issue either, so it's going to be interesting to check out, you know. Because I've read a lot of the other issues, but never the first, because I can never afford it. Let's see what we got next here. King Spawn, as usual, is killing it. Enjoy this series. So for $2.99, you can't beat it. And lastly, another series I'm really enjoying finally is Batman issue 128. Chip Zdarsky is doing a great job on it, so it's interesting to see where this will go. But Batman's fun to read again, so. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the comments. Check out the links down below, and we'll talk to you next time.